A warm welcome to Diski Talk with Luyolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I do ask that you please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, I discuss all things Orlando Pirates as I have a tactical feature focus of Orlando Pirates. So we do have a look at it then. This is Orlando Pirates then, and with Orlando Pirates then, we do know that they are led by coach Jose Riveiro, and they've been doing very well underneath his guidance. So we do know that they did advance to the semi-finals of the MTN 8, where then they will play against Mamelodi Sundowns, and then they currently do sit second within the Dstv Premiership. So we do have a look at coach Jose Riveiro with regards to his game model and how he looks to set up with regards to his system. He does then line up then in a 3-4-2-1. So when you do have a look at it then, there's variations to this, of course, because then it can be a 3-4-2-1, but it can also then become a 3-4-3, which would look something like that, where then you'd have the two wing backs, and then you've got the three up there. It can also then become a 3-4-1-2, where it's 3 there, 4-1-2. So there's many variations of this, and we've seen Orlando Pirates being able to employ all of them. So the 3-4-1-2, the 3-4-2-1, and the 3-4-3. Essentially then it is a 3-4-3. But with two number 10, so that does make it a 3-4-2-1, which then within the heart of midfield becomes a box midfield. So when you have a look at this Orlando Pirates side then, Orlando Pirates then have been doing very, very well. So when you have a look at it then from an offensive perspective with regards to how they look in possession of the ball. So what they do look to do then is they do look to build up very deep, where then you'd have the two centre backs, the two wide centre backs, looking then to build up in those deep pockets of space. Then you'd obviously have the wing backs then acting as full backs. CBC would be looking to step in. Most of the time, that is what they do look to build up like. Sometimes what you would see then is Mayela going there, CBC going there, then they can still build up with the four. But traditionally speaking, when you play with the back three, the central centre back looks to step up into midfield, and then you'd have the two wide centre backs there. So when you do have a look then at the personalities, they've had Richard Ofori in goals. Left-sided centre-back, you've had Innocent Mayela. And then as the central centre-back, you've had CBC, who's been very key for this Orlando Pirates side, as not just from a defensive perspective, and also when you consider that he is also then a threat within the opposition box, he has scored a goal as well. So when you do have a look at him then, I think he's been one of the key players for this Orlando Pirates side. He's offered them that stability and that extra layer of defense. How he's also been able then to offer that cover for his side. Whenever that ball does bypass the wide centre-backs, he is able then to cover for them. Also then on the left-hand side, he reads the game very well, very comfortable on the ball with regards to looking to start from deep pockets of space, even when they do employ a high line, when they are in the opposition half, with regards to their offensive scheme, he becomes quite key. And then as the right-sided centre-back, they've gone with Koki, and they've gone with Olisanda. So this is also another component then of Jose Riveiro's game model with regards to it not being individual dependent, but it is a system more than it is about being dependent on individuals, because we do know that last season Olisanda was Orlando Pirates' best player, but this season he hasn't featured regularly. So he started games, and then there's games where he hasn't started, but the side has still been very, very solid. So that is also another key aspect of Jose Riveiro with regards to how he looks to go about things. As a left wing back, you do have Hoto, but you can also have Olane, who can start there. There's also Marco, who can start there as well. As the right wing back, you do have Shandu, but we did also see that Monyane did start there. He was doing very well. So that is also another option, but Monyane is currently injured, so you do have Shandu. Within the heart of midfield, you do have a double pivot then of Miguel Tim, then you've got Musele, but we do know that Musele was suspended, so you've had Munare starting in there, but it will be Tim and Musele. Then you have the two tens then of Dlamini. Then you've got Makaringe, who started the past weekend. Then you have Lipasa. But we do know that there's Loch as well. You've got Pule as well. So there's so many options that they have within these 210 roles. Up front as well, so many options because you've got Lipasa, you've got Evanga, you've also got Pepra as well. But what do they look like with regards to the offensive scheme as they do become aggressive? Because on paper, when you do look at it then, it does look quite the defensive formation with regards to the two wing backs who can always tuck in and make it a 5. But when looking then to attack and morph into that offensive scheme, what does it look like? So it does become a 3-2-5 with both the wing backs looking to offer the width. Then you'd have the number 10s or the inside forwards there. You'd have your double pivot there, and then you'd have the 3 center backs. So what this then does is that it allows them then to have a 3-2 rest defense with regards to that shape. So it allows them to always have 5 players behind the ball, which has been quite key then because Orlando Pirates defensively have been very, very solid. And they've been tactically organized as well, which is something we're going to look at. But when you do have a look at it from this perspective, this is what they're looking to do when then they do stretch the opposition, the 2 wing backs looking to go high and wide. One thing then that they've been doing very well is a pattern of play and combination which would be instituted between the number 10 and the wing back as well. So what they would be looking to do then is oftentimes then what you can see if the wing back does start in that deep pocket of space with the ball, for example, it is a ball that is played into there. He does look to make the run, ball played there, gets it, and from this position he's always able then to cut it back. So they're able then to penetrate and break teams down then from the left side at half space and the left wide channel. They're able to do this on the right hand side as well, where then they penetrate through the right wide channel and the right side at half space, where then you do see the combination between the wing back and the number 10 as well. Also with the number 10 and wing back, what you would see then is that they would have these lovely moments of rotational play and this great synergy with regards to the relationship which is instituted. So sometimes you would see the number 10 looking to drift wide. When he drifts wide, the wing back would be looking to occupy that space. It happens on the right hand side as well. But on the left hand side, we also do see triangulation developing and forming with Maela, because Maela naturally so is a fullback. So he does tend to push up into that pocket of space. So sometimes you would then see this triangulation from Pirates on the left hand side, where you'd have Maela, you'd have the number 10, and then you'd have Hoto. So you'd have Maela, Dlamini, and Hoto there, where they're looking to institute a wide overload, and they'd have these wide rotations as well, where then they're able to deliver adequate balls into the box. So that is Orlando Pirates then with regards to how they're looking to go about things when they do find themselves in the opposition half, how aggressive they can be, how they are then creating chances from the wide areas, the 2 wide areas, and then the 2 half spaces. Those are their offensive patterns of play with regards to penetrating into the final third, creating chances, and how then they'd be looking to score goals. However, a disadvantage then, or something that they've been struggling with, is finishing. This is something that Orlando Pirates really have to work on within the final third and within the box, because the quality of chances which are being created are chances which are of high quality, which require players to pretty much just run onto it and tap it in. So they're creating high quality chances as well. But when you do move on then right along, and we have a look at this Orlando Pirates then from a defensive perspective. So I did mention then that it does go to a back 5 with regards to their defensive block. So let me just erase that. So what you do see then from this Orlando Pirates side with regards to them out of possession. What do they look like out of possession and as their defensive scheme? So with Orlando Pirates then, they do go to a 5-4-1, where it becomes quite key then with regards to managing the space laterally and vertically as well. So that is when they are trying to be as compact as possible, making sure then that the opposition, it's difficult for opposition to break them down. So that space, very compact, and then that space, very compact, where then it becomes very difficult for opposition to break them down. They can't really play through them. If they do go wide, they're able then to combat that situation where you do have the wing back going out, and then you've also got one of the number 10s looking to go out as well, where then they can be able then to deal with those wide overloads, and they can deal then with those wide rotations from the opposition. So this is what Orlando Pirates do very well. At times, it does tend to look somewhat of a 5-2 a 5-2-3. And also, when you have a look at Orlando Pirates, then from this, then they are quite adept with regards to being able then to hurt opposition with offensive transitions and counterattacks as well. Because from this situation, Orlando Pirates can get out very quickly from here and ensure then they are able to exploit that space in behind. That opposition would leave whenever then the opposition have the ball within their half. They can look to exploit that space and then end up here, because then that is the goal. When you are looking to transition offensively from your own half, then you're looking to have that successful counter-attacking opportunity where you are able to put the ball into the back of the net. So with this Orlando Pirates side, when they do sit deep within their defensive blocks, be it a low block or a mid block, they are very deadly, because as soon as they win the ball, they are looking then to hit you with the counter-attack. And we do know that they've got very speedy players. Like I mentioned, you do have Lipasa, you do have a Dlamini, you do have a Pule, you do have a Loch as well. The two wing backs are also very, very quick. You've got Hoto, who can get up very quickly and look then to offer that speed as well. So that is Orlando Pirates then with regards to how they look to go about things from a tactical perspective. They've done very well so far with regards to the league season, as they do sit second, as they've had a very, very good start. And yeah, so this bodes really well for Orlando Pirates, because in recent years, they haven't had such an impressive start where they do sit at the top of the table, where then we do see now that Mamelodi Sundowns are at the top and they are second, but at some point they were sitting at top of the table, so they sit at the right end of the table. Also, when you consider then the MTN8 clash, so they do have a couple of weeks where they're not in league action, where they can prepare for Mamelodi Sundowns then within that MTN8 fixture. So ladies and gentlemen, do let me know, what do you make of Orlando Pirates under Jose Riveiro with regards to how they're looking to go about things, how disciplined they are, and how then they are willing to relinquish ball possession, sit deep within their deep defensive blocks, ensure that they are tactically and defensively organized, and then look to hit opposition with counter attacks. So with Orlando Pirates, two things then that I would say that they need to work on is finishing and defending set pieces, because when it comes to set pieces, they often employ zonal marking, and we've seen the opposition being able to get free headers. So those are the two things that Orlando Pirates need to improve. Once they improve those, then I think we're looking at a team then that could very well be title contenders. However, at home, if you are watching this, please do visit classicshirts.co.za and do get yourself a classic shirt with the discount code DiskiTalk10. So that is classicshirts.co.za. They are classic shirts, they are retro jerseys, and they are also jerseys from this season as well. I'm currently wearing one which is of high quality. So thank you very much for tuning in to yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Luyolo. Signing out.